Good morning, everyone. It is your boy, the Crooked Commish, here with the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Thank you all for joining us this early morning, first day of daylight savings. So we had to make a minor time adjustment. So Chicago only being an hour difference from where I am, and the game starting a little later is a little bittersweet. Gives you some more time to sleep in and kind of get your fantasy day ready, but at the same time, the night games kind of extend a little bit later into the night, and for a guy like me that has to get up pretty early, it can be hard to stay up to finish these games. But you better believe when my Bears are playing on a Sunday night game, I'm definitely up and watching that. Hopefully they're not getting blown out though, and hopefully that won't happen today here. So our Bears' four-game winning streak ended last week versus the Ravens in a gotta-have-it type of game for the Ravens. One of those games where the Ravens definitely could not afford to go down and start the season 1-6 if they had any kind of hopes or dreams of making the playoffs this year. But it was definitely an ugly game from Caleb Williams, to say the least. And it was not the bounce back game that we are hoping that he would have as well. So, but here against the Bengals coming up is definitely a winnable game. So, and Caleb Williams is going to need to have a good game here to kind of show us that he is developing and not regressing. So, because I know a lot of Chicago fan base is starting to get a little worried that he's not taking the bigger steps that we were all hoping that he would be taking at this point of the season. It seems like any steps he is taking, it's baby steps, and then he is, of course, taking a few steps back as well. So before I get too much into it, let's go ahead and get the show kicked off, and I'll get the rest of the crew in here. So hang in there, grab a drink. It's time to bear down. Man, oh man, wouldn't we love to see that from our special teams this year? It seems like it's been ever since we've seen a punt return, kick return, at least from our team. Our special teams has been struggling to stop these punt returns and kick returns. Another issue that they've been working on since week one is the damn penalties that they've been committing as well. Right from the jump, it was awful. They were a super shit ton of flags, basically, right from the jump. And it was something that we were hearing from Ben Johnson and the rest of the coaches that, it was something that they were going to bring up during, the meetings and whatnot, and address it to the players and kind of let them know that this is not acceptable. We know it's an issue. It's something that we're going to work on and get it fixed. Here we are halfway through the season. Still doesn't appear to be fixed. Hopefully this is the week where it does happen and they exit this game with maybe 5 penalties. I'll take that. We can end this game with only 5 penalties. That would be awesome, considering I think we're averaging around 10 when the league average is around 7 or so. So not good. But let me get the rest of the Clubhouse members in here, my co-host. First up is the guy that likes to cook up some hot takes and cook up some good food as well. Our boy, Coach Chef. What's
What's
good? How
going
you doing?
on? All right, how you doing?
Good, good. Just excited and hopeful that, like I said, the Bears can win this game against the Bengals. It's one of the more winnable games that's on their schedule right now. After this, it starts to get pretty tough.
It's the
But
NFL. Every game is winnable.
yeah, but you feel more confident about going into certain games than others, for sure.
The Bengals lost to the Jets.
And a shocker, yes, for
Kansas
sure.
City started the season 0-2. The Ravens started 1-5 and will probably end up 5-5 in the next couple of weeks. It's the NFL, man. Oh man, but yeah. Excuse the lighting. My ring light is. I think I need another ring light because my lighting is become trash lately. For short. So if you can't,
No
I
problem.
mean, it looks like you can see me, but usually I have my ring light, trying to be professional. But what up, everybody? Don't forget to
Not
like,
much.
subscribe. You know, I'm gonna say the same thing. HBO special, help a brother out. If you hear, it don't cost you nothing to hit us with a like.
Absolutely. D Nice, thank you for being in the chat. Let's bear down for sure. Let's go ahead and
Indeed.
get our other co-host in here. He missed us last week, but he's definitely back, and he's going to be living up to his name. I'm afraid of just because how disappointing that game was last week. So our boy Amp is back into the clubhouse. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, brothers. What's good? What's good?
Not too much. Same old, and just kind of looking forward to this game and seeing if the Bears hopefully can get back on the winning track. I know we were all riding high there when they're on a 4-game winning streak, but then go to Baltimore, and Baltimore was in desperation mode for sure. And we had our chances to kind of jump up and get the early lead. And I'm not just talking about a 6-point, kicking field goals lead. We get a 14-point lead on them early. Who knows if they're able to kind of mount that comeback and still steal that game or take that game from us, I should say, or if we would be able to kind of hold on and have our defense kind of pin their ears back and put up some different schemes against Hundley. But what are your thoughts on guys last week's game?
Oh man, you know what? I'm glad that Coach Chef, you, my brother, are optimistic about this team. I'm glad that you are, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this team is bums. It is bums. And it speaks volumes. Yes, this is my opinion. And it speaks volumes when the head coach comes out and says, I'm going to give it to the players to straighten this out. And when he said that, all I could think about, like the core of this team, is still the same team from last year. And we all know what happened when they gave it to the players to straighten it out. Man, pre-snap penalties, you know what I'm saying? What's that? Intentional grounding twice. Intentional grounding. This team is not going to get any better, man. This team is not going to get any better. And so I'm going to state this, then I'm going to throw it back to you, Commish. I'm going to start the bandwagon rolling. This speaks
There's no need to watch any more games, guys. There's no need.
No. Wait a minute. Let's not, go get over our skis. I'm going to watch games. That's what I do.
We lost our third game of the season. There's no need to watch any more games, guys.
Let me start by saying, before we get started, that this is on polls, man. This is on polls. And I'm going to watch every game, as I have for 50 plus years. I'm going to watch every game. This team is what we see. But back to you, Commish. Back to you. I will get into that a little bit deeper. But that's what I see, man.
All right. Well, Coach Chef, I'll just give you a chance to talk about a little bit of what you thought about what we saw for the game versus the Ravens, maybe some of the issues of why we didn't win or what the Bears could have done differently, or what you think, like I said, the main issue was why they didn't exit that game with the victory, and what your thoughts on Caleb Williams' game was, I guess.
So I mean, I put it So for those who don't know, I have a TikTok. You can go to my TikTok. I have Bears content on my TikTok at hostcoach.chef or host_. Host, just look up Host Coach Chef on TikTok. You can find me. I have two channels, but one is specifically for Bears. I do a halftime, a breakdown. I do a post game. We do, if the Bears win, we do a post game shot shooter when they win, et cetera, et cetera. We do content. I do content on there. We also have the stuff that we have for the Chicago Clubhouse Network on TikTok. So go there. All of us on the show are on TikTok. If you look us up, we will be there. I link a lot of my videos to all three of us as well as the other people on the channel. It wasn't a good game. One team really did look like they wanted to win. And I was remiss because I didn't make any TikToks this week or any shorts about the interviews for signing the players we signed. We signed the cornerback, we signed the DN because of injury. The interviews, actually, I wanted to address that. I was going to do a TikTok on the interviews with Ben Johnson. Look, there's an old adage, which is funny because I'm not a big fan of quoting I'm sorry, Dick Buckets, good Lord, not him. I'm not a big fan of quoting the former Bears Super Bowl winning coach, Mike Ditka, but players play and coaches coach. Me saying that means there's only so much as a coach you can do for your players. And by giving onus on the players still have to perform. You can scheme up whatever you want. You can play whatever you want. You can ask them whatever they want to do. They have to perform and execute. This ain't high school. You can run all the laps and suicides you want, leading the league in penalties. It is up to the players, the leadership, or whoever that is, and the players themselves individually to hone in on the craft of being professional athletes and do better. And that goes the same whether you talk about pro tennis players, basketball, track and field. People have lapses. Unfortunately, our team has this season of abundance of lapses. They've been talking about pre-snap penalties since the off season. Ben said, I don't have the quote because I had these quotes down, but Ben said something about at least we're not having something to the effect. This is not a direct quote. Something to the effect of, I'm glad we're not having delay of games, but we have to get the pre-snap penalties down. Obviously, they lead the league. I think before the Ravens game, they had 15 pre-snap penalties, which means false starts. They led the league from their offensive line, tight ends, etc. Loveland had a couple. Penalties are honed in by yourself as a player, and as a player who has committed some pre-snap penalties, false starts. You know, the whole adage, hey, we're going to go on 3, and everyone says, hey, we're going to go on 3. And like, I've seen this as a player and a coach where you call a timeout, we're like, hey, we're going to get the other team to jump. We're going to go, no, don't nobody move. We're not going to snap the ball. We're just going to go hut, set, go. You're going to do all this stuff, and then what happens? 50% of the time, 40% of the time, somebody jumps. And it's not because they're trying to jump. Motherfuckers just can't stay focused, and that's the big thing. Yeah. Look, not excusing any of those things, saying that being on both sides of this, man, it's a hone for the leadership and guys to hone down to make sure that you're not being too eager before a play, whether, hey, I got to get into my route, or I've got to pick up this blitzing linebacker I see, or they walked up and I'm too eager. Like, you got to hold your water. You got to be able to know what you're doing pre-snap, know what your adjustments are, knowing that you have to play more than you have to react more than thinking on the play. And when you start reacting more and thinking less on plays, new offense or new position or whatever it may be, you'll do less jumping for false starts. You'll do less of these penalties. The two, in regards to the two, one of the one of the intentional grounding let us out of field goal for that that fire not fire sale. Now I can't talk. That fire drill for the missed field goal. Also, the missed field goal was interesting because they didn't actually have a kicking ball for that, because that's the whole thing NFL people don't know about. So, not saying that's the reason, but that may have been slight. But there's a kicking ball, and then there's a regular playing ball. Kicking ball's a little more.
I think it was just too far for Cairo. I mean, it was a 58-yarder.
You can say that.
He hasn't.
It was a 51-yarder.
He hasn't made too many of those.
It
It was a 51 yarder. It was 51 yards. Let's be 51.
Yards. It was
No,
58 yards. 58 yards. It was a 58-yard field goal. He was 2 yards
it's
short.
58. 51.
I mean, I hate to be this guy. There have been other teams. There's been, for a fire drill field goal this season, actually, teams are hitting those actually at a really low clip. You know that.
Then you are that guy. You are that guy because Carlos Santos is the wrong guy. We seen that. Carlos Santos is the wrong guy. They had Mooney up in there. They should have kept him. You are that guy, man. You are being that guy. You are being that guy. You are being that guy.
4 and 15. The season's over. Stop watching games. It's over.
You are being that guy. You are being that guy because anytime a professional quarterback in the NFL has not one but 2 intentional groundings in one game, you know, how often do you see that, man? From a professional, and most importantly, check it out, those pre-snap penalties. Oh my goodness, they lead the league in that. So who does that fall on? Yeah, they lead the league in pre-snap penalties. And special teams. Come on, man. Come on. And special teams, I'm not even talking about that because we know they're bums. Anytime our opponents are starting at the 40, 45 yards, that's not what I said. I don't put words in your mouth. Don't put none in mine. The team is what we see. It's what we see, man. And if they don't win this game today, man, it's a real problem. Seeing that this is the worst team in the NFL that we're going against, this would be a real problem. What are you going to say then? Coaches coach, players play. That's what we said last year.
The worst team in the NFL. I didn't know. I've never used that quote ever in my life. I've never used coaches coach.
You just used it. You just used it. That's why I got it from.
So real quick, go ahead and finish your point, and then I have definitely a question for you guys as well. But
the team has to play better, and the benefit is that from the top to the bottom, people are being accountable. Ben Johnson takes accountability for some plays that he shouldn't have called. Good morning, top of the day. We need a big day. Yes, we need a big day from the team. Still 11 guys, 22 starters on offense and defense. Everyone has to play high. We want higher. We need better things from our quarterback, being that he's the quarterback and the captain and the first-round draft pick. It don't matter if he was the 10th-round draft pick. Quarterback has to play better, obviously. The talent has to show for more precision. 2 straight weeks of bad picks, timing and everything else, offensive line, not running the ball. Look, we've got to play better. We've got to execute better. We've got to have better game planning from offense and defense. I mean, we're down even more bodies now. We literally had a bunch of third-string DBs last week. These are not excuses. These are the things that are factual. And this team, I believe, which my belief doesn't mean anything, but I know in my belief this team is better than the team last year as a whole, from top to bottom. We have better coaching from top to bottom, assistants. We have better players. We have better scheming. Everything is better about this team. And I stand down on the fact that I still had this team going 9-8. I did. I still have the team going 9-8 this year. So I don't have them making the playoffs. I still have them finishing third in the division. I have the Minnesota Vikings coming in fourth. But there's a lot of things you've got to clean up. I do expect them to play better in the second half of the season, the back half of the 7 to 8 games. They played well, but we've also beat some pretty poor teams. We beat the Raiders. That's not a good team. The Raiders are worse than the doggone Bengals. Then the Raiders just get literally shut out by the Chiefs like 38-0. So the Bengals aren't the worst team in the NFL. They just beat 2 weeks ago. They just beat Pittsburgh. There's no teams that are undefeated this year. Anybody can lose to anybody. But we need to perform better versus teams that we deem of having lesser talent. Shoot. The Bengals must have deemed the Jets have lesser talent last week, yet they lost.
So are we just going to go ahead, Commish, go ahead.
Question here, because we're talking about getting better and whatnot. And at the beginning of the season, a lot of us were saying, hey, not expecting, much win record wise from the Bears, But the main thing is, by the end of the season, we need to see and make sure that Caleb is developing in the right way. And hopefully by the end of the season, we can all kind of agree and kind of feel confident that Caleb is our quarterback. Like, he is going to be the guy, for this system, for this coach. At this point of the season, here halfway, I think it's safe to say he's taken some steps, but it's kind of been some baby steps. Maybe not the leaps that some of us were hoping, or he's not at the point that some of us are hoping. But that's more or less the question there. Being halfway through the season, seeing what we've seen from Caleb, especially the last few games, what are your thoughts on his development thus far in the season with Ben Johnson?
Man, check this out. The kid I don't want to say he's regressing, but he's not getting it, man. Anytime you get in the red zone as much as we do from the kickoff, but when you get in the red zone, he can't read coverages, man. And that should be the easiest point on the field. Once you get to the red zone, it's 20 in. It's 20 yards in, with your end zone being a defense. You being a defensive player, man. This kid cannot. He cannot.
It'd be the hardest point in the field because, like, there's not much room for receivers
to
roam around. It's more compact and whatnot. So
it's not. It's not.
In the box.
It's the easiest part. The hard part is getting there. The easiest part is once you get to the 20. Come on, man. It's 20 yards. It's 20 yards. But most importantly, let me go back to this. I mean, there are no special players on this team. There are none. We don't have one.
You got 18 guys within a 20-yard space compared to 18 guys that you can spread out within a 50-yard space. You know what I mean? I would think it would be harder to score once you're in that red zone because everything's about the timing there. The timing has to be perfect.
That's my point. That's my point, Commish. That's my point. And when you're trying to force feed the ball to one player, first of all, we don't have a number one receiver on this team. Not we, they. They don't have a number one receiver on this team. We have average receivers. We have a playmaker on this team, number 2, who should not be in the backfield at no point. At no point. So this goes back to and only difference between this team and last year, I give them, it's the coaching staff. It's a better coaching staff. It's pretty much the same players, man. It's the same core. It's the same core of players. But when you put DJ Moore in the backfield, we lose automatically on that play. He's not going to run in between the tackles, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. So why? First of all, that goes back to drafting. Check out. Why didn't you pick up some running backs, man? And then if the team is so bad, it's so bad. You got to go get a malcontent. You got to sign Grady to the secondary, man. And every team that he's been on, he's wreaked havoc. You bring him to a team that has no leadership. So, man, this team needs work, man. And again, I say, special teams, it's bad. This is bad. If we don't win this, it's a rip. I guarantee you, if the Bears don't win this, which we should, I preface it by saying we should win this game. Any given Sunday, we should win this game. If the Bears don't win this game, watch Poles' names come up. Watch everybody start talking about what Poles did in the draft and what he didn't do. That's what this is, man. Coach, only thing better is the coaches.
Man, if you're in any of these forums, man, they talk about Poles every week. This is not a new thing. When they win the running game for two of the 4-game winning streak, we had 100 yards. We had 2 backs over 80 yards 2 games ago. It was like, oh, we've got running backs. The running game was better. They changed some schemes from week 2 to week 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Who said we had running backs and you got DJ Moore in the backfield? Who said we got running backs? Who said that, Chef? Who said that? Who said that we had running backs? Who said that?
Hold on. You asked them 3 times. Let them answer.
If you watch any of the videos from other podcasters, other shows, we had 2 games. We had a game 2 games ago where we ran for 240 yards. We just ran for 240 2 games ago. Now we don't have running backs. The first 2 games, the running game wasn't the running backs. Ben Johnson, which I agreed, the running issues weren't the running backs the first 2 weeks. That was the offensive line. They started running more outside zone. They were more successful in weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Last week, they couldn't get the run game started. It wasn't the running backs. You got in a hole and you didn't stick with the run. Like, those are 2 separate issues. Now you have an injury. So, yes, Now the depth of your running back room is a question, but it wasn't a question 2 games ago.
It was always a question. I brought it up. It was always a question. When you drop a 7th round pick, it was always been a question. And it's even more of a question because it's the same thing. It's repetitive. It's the same thing they did last year with putting DJ Moore in the backfield, only it was different coaches last year. What? If nothing changes, nothing changes, coach. Come on, man.
Get your athletes the ball. I'm never going to not believe that you should give your best more, especially your athletes who are great after the catch. Excuse me, with the ball in their hands, you have to get them. You have to manufacture touches. That's what that's called. How can I get the guys who are really good with the ball in their hands? What's the fastest way? What's the fastest way to get the best guy you have after giving him the ball? The best way to give him catches, is it a screen?
Can that guy run between tackles? Can that guy run in between the tackles? No.
Does it require me to hand him the ball? Every team has a pass.
Answer that question.
Has a package.
Can DJ Moore run between the tackles? Can DJ answer your question?
Hold on, Amp.
Ask your question.
There's not a team in the NFL that doesn't have packages to get their players, whether it's a shovel pass, whether it's a handoff, whether it's an end around, whether it's quick screens. The quickest way, factually, there's no quicker way to take the ball from the center with the quarterback with the ball in his hands to get to the best player that you believe who has the best break tackle, run after catch, run after contact. There's no better way of getting that person the ball than to hand them the ball directly from the quarterback. That's not to be argued. That nothing about that can be argued in the NFL. There's nothing faster to get your guy the ball, unless putting him at quarterback, than to hand that guy the ball. Now, has it worked to great success? No, it has not. Do you completely stop it? That's debatable. You can argue that till the cows come home, as they say. We've been on the opposite sides of this DJ in the backfield. But guess what? If he had 10 carries and he was averaging 7 yards a carry, this wouldn't be an argument. It's only an argument because he's probably about 3 yards.
But he's not.
Iro Santos is 9 for 11 on field goals this year. Jake Moody is 8 for 9. In fact, the 8 for 9, he missed a 40-yard field goal. So whenever kickers miss field goals, they're trash. You got to get them out. They're the worst. There's not a kicker in the NFL right now who is perfect at kicking. Now, situations matter, just like anything. If you throw a pick when you're up 35-0, it's like, hey, you got to take a shot. When you throw a pick in the red zone, when you're trying to tie a game, yes, pressure builds. Pressure breaks pipes. Sometimes pressure makes booty holes tight as well. So what we need for this game is to overcome injuries, overcome devastation of signing new guys. You said we sound a malcontent. Well, truth be told, he was only a malcontent against his opponent. No one has talked bad about this guy in a locker room. You can't find a quote. You can find other players. You can find
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? When he's costing teams 15-yard penalties, what are you talking about? He's costing teams, the teams that he's been playing on, he's costing them 15-yard penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct on a regular. So what are you talking about? He's not hurting the team. What are you talking about?
Eagles.
All right, go ahead, Coach Chef. Go ahead, Coach Chef.
Gardner Johnson.
It is kind of worrisome.
He signed as a slot cornerback. He's played with multiple teams. He's played as a rookie. He was drafted through the Saints through DA, our defensive coordinator. We need help. I don't know who else we would sign, unless you thought that maybe signing an older guy like Stephon Gilmore would help, or we would sign the other young cornerback who was drafted by, I believe, the Broncos, who's coming off some type of neck fusion surgery. Look, I saw this whole week how people were like, we got to trade for corner. We got to trade for corner. I'm done giving up draft picks for bodies intermediately. You take the bet, you can get the best you can off the scrap heap, which is free agency. I'm calling it the scrap heap because that's what it is. You got guys on free agency who haven't played. So by definition, they're the scrap heap of the league. They haven't been drafted. You already down
you
3
your
corners.
Coach can coach them up.
You got to coach them up. Gardner Johnson has caused issues with teams he plays against. Did you listen to any of the interviews, like the press conferences? I listened to all the press conferences when they signed him. I listened to Ben. I listened to DA. I listened to himself. You ask the sports writers in Chicago was asking, hey, do you remember Javon Wims 3, 4, 5 years ago? Do you remember this play? Like, do you think this guy gives a damn about a play 5 years ago where a guy who got a penalty against himself for pulling off his mouthpiece or hit him? Wims got the damn ejection and the 15-yard penalty. That guy is a high intensity player. These are one of those guys who you say you hate to play against them. You would love to have them on your team. If no one on the team has an issue, the coaches do their due diligence. If he plays great, then guess what? We'll all say what? We'll say, and we quote, that was a great signing. If he gets burnt, oh my God, why did we sign this guy? Well, we didn't have nobody else. You want to put Nichols back out there where he's getting toasted? He got roasted every play last week being the goddamn outside corner. You don't have any number one corners. LaShawn White is your number one. You got to sign him. You got to put somebody on the field. You can bring someone from the practice squad, but you got to watch the tape. How is this guy practicing? There's a lot that goes in. Who are you going to trade for? Every week I hear in all these formats, when I say all these platforms, I say, look, I watch a lot of videos, podcasts. Bears fans we got a plethora of ways to fix things, but none of us actually know what the fuck we're talking about. That's what we often say. You know, we talk a lot of shit, but we don't know what we're talking about. What's the best way to get talent? You sign guys who recently played. The guy just came off a Super Bowl with a team, didn't find a team he wanted to play for, because that's what free agency does. There's two ways to do free agency. A team wants you, or you want to go to the team. And just because the team wants you, maybe that's not a fit for you for whatever reason, financially or scheme-wise. I think that he's the best option we could get under the circumstance. We signed the young defensive end from the Packers who played in Miami. He's played some DN. We just lost Shamar Turner for the year with an ACL. I was trying to get to the doggone injuries. We got a receiver out. We got Burton out. We got Rashawn Johnson out. We got D-Rob out. Swift out. We got a plethora of guys out this game. What are you going to do? You do the
That's
best
my
you can.
point. That's my point.
We got a guy coming back, the young guy from Kansas we got who led the team in sacks in the offseason. We got him coming back.
Austin Booker.
Austin Booker. Look, this team has got a heavy burden because they play one of the best receiving tandems, and they've literally got one starting corner, legitimate starting corner who's going to play this week.
Tyreek Stevenson's back.
Tyreek Stevenson. He's the only, Yes, Tyreek is the only bona fide starting cornerback. Everyone else is a bona fide second string corner. Everyone else is a second.
And he's the guy that I want to see the least mistakes out of today. Like if this is a game where he's heavily penalized, I know a lot of Bears Nations is going to be pulling their hair out because out of all the guys,
you didn't have him last week. How did the DBs look? You didn't have him last week.
No, exactly. They look terrible. They look terrible. They look like they were
one horrible game this whole season. So, and after that game, he was cheeks. We was in the chat room saying Tyreek Stevenson is cooked. We saying he was cooked game 2. 3 games later, oh my God, he's been balling. But is he cooked or is he balling? Or did he have a bad game? Which one? We got to pick. We can't. Look.
Well,
first of all, yeah, you've been talking. You've been talking a lot. You've been talking a lot. Can I get in?
Go ahead.
Can I get in?
Yeah. Reel it in just a little bit. Just reel it in just a little bit. Poquito. Just a little.
Check this out, man.
Go ahead.
Hey, check this out, man. As far as Gardner goes, no one wanted to sign him. As far as trades go, talking about using draft picks, talking about why use a draft pick, why not? He hasn't been hitting on them. We haven't been hitting on draft picks. Who have we hit on? What draft pick has Foles hit on, man? What does he hit on? You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't hit on his trades too much either. So I mean to say just trade because there's some trades that he's done that has been like 50-50. So
what I'm saying, Commish, is like it's not like he can't trade a number one. He's go shake a tree, man. Should have been shaking the Raiders tree for Crosby. See if that takes a 1 and a 3. It ain't like we've been hitting on the 1s and the 3 picks. You're not gonna find another player like him. And I'm talking, man. I'm talking. When you talk, do I say anything? My goodness. I'm saying this is all rosters, man. And anytime you gotta sign a guy like Gardner, it's a problem. And you already have Stevenson back there, who's a weakness. He's a weakness in the secondary. Then you bring a Malcolm in. And you're talking about this is the best possible move. Yeah, it was the only move. I agree with that. It was the only move they could make because the secondary is bums. And where does that start at, man? Come on. All I'm saying is look at the roster. Who put it together? Yes, the coaches. And I said it until I lose my breath, man. Yes, the coaches are better. Every coach except Hightower, who coaches special teams. Other than that, across the board, coaches are better than I've ever seen. But this talent on this team, which was picked by one man and maybe Johnson, it's still not adding up, man. This is bad. You bring Coach Chef in. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to get that out there.
Trying to get my lights flickering. I'm trying to get better lighting so I can be brighter, man. You know, I want to look beautiful on camera. I got to shine the light off my shiny forehead.
So real quick, I want to get your the answer to the question that I asked. Amp answered it, but Chef, I needed to hear your answer. What are your thoughts on Caleb's development so far in the season? Is it on par of where you're thinking they would be, or is it above average, or is above what you're thinking? And then after that, we can start getting into this upcoming game here. So go ahead.
Personally, I thought it was trending up every week. Like, to me, he only really had two. Well, before last week, he had one really poor game. The one really poor game, in my opinion, poor from like beginning. The inconsistency was the first game of the year. First game of the year was really, really inconsistent. I didn't actually think he played that poorly in the Lion game. The defense gave up a shit ton of points. I mean, he just didn't play well as a whole team. I thought he played solidly. Then the games were getting progressively better. I think he's doing better checking the ball down. I think he's doing better getting to his reads. He does have moments where he's kind of, I don't want to see janky, but like points where he's not staying in the pocket. But then that would also come with some inconsistencies with the line play. Like, beginning of the season, the line was much better in pass blocking than they were run blocking. And then by game 3 or 4, the run blocking kind of got better. The scheme changed a little more outside zone with our personnel. And then we had a lapse where, last week, I think everyone on the line besides Wright looked horrible. I mean, Tooney looked bad. He had a false start. He was getting blown by. The center, Dahlman, had 2 games ago. He wouldn't snap the damn ball. Jackson had a 3-game period where he was cheap, in my opinion, like consistency wise. We got the second-year player, the guy who took, we wanted the left tackle change so bad. Does anyone notice that the left tackle looks the same as the last left tackle, just by chance? So with the development with Caleb, it's the inconsistency. So how bad did he really play versus the Ravens? If you take the interception away, he played about the same. There were some plays he could have checked the ball down a little sooner, decision making, so that's speeding up your process. But I think he's coming along, to answer your direct question without doing the whole politician thing and going around it, not answering it. I think his development is coming along, for me, about where I thought it would be. New offense, second-year player. I thought that the second half of the season would be stronger than the first half of the season. No, we haven't had a 300-yard game. My references to more comments that I see from different videos and different chat groups about he hasn't even had a 300-yard game yet. Look, man, are we here for stats or are we here for win? That's the question I would ask.
Wins in development.
Check this out.
I mean, so hold on, real quick. Hold on, real quick, Amp, before you get going. We do have another member in the clubhouse that definitely wants to get his opinion on what's going on and what we've been talking about. So I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to drop out and let you guys go at it, and I'll sit back and eat some popcorn here.
We acting like they got them 0-8 right now. We acting like goddamn Jets fans.
So guys, welcome to the show. You very familiar face of the clubhouse. You see him on the Tuesday night show with the main group here. He has got a foul mouth, so that's why, of course, he's called Foul Mouth C. Welcome.
What's up, fellas?
What's good? What's good with it, pal? How you feel, bro?
Man, I was sitting up here early in the morning. I was like, man, I'm listening to you guys. Man, we gotta quit acting like this team is 0-, like Chef said, 0-8. This team is 4-3 right now. They're banged up. They're playing. Amp, you are going ham, bro. So tell me this, Amp, where were you at when they was on this 4-game winning streak?
Where was I at?
Yeah, like how were you feeling?
I was feeling the same way I've always felt since the beginning of the season. Val, I say that this team doesn't win 10 games. What this team doesn't win game, it's a bust. That's what I said.
So
but most importantly, far as to QB, I know it took Jared Goff 2 years to get this offense. I understand. That's not my point. These are the same core players from last year, and they're doing the same thing. So hey, come on, man.
You think, they are. So you think it's the players?
I do.
So you think it's the players? First of all, this team is a lot better than the team was last year because the team is better coached. That's for, and you said this your own self.
Then if it's better coached, why would the coach say, "I'm giving it to the players to straighten it out"?
Because he's giving it to the players. He's relying on the players. He has already gone and said, because you got to remember, first of all, tell me this, is the line better? Is the offensive line better than it was last year?
Offensive line is decent. Like Coach Chef just said.
Was the line better than it was last year? Not if it's decent.
It's decent. It's decent. Where your quarterback is making decisions. Because you got Badet in there. Why? Because Braxton Jones is there. Why is he better?
The quarterback already up to this time is already gone. His sacks are down 50% less than what they were last year. That's why it's better than decent.
And it's the same quarterback.
Is the wide receiving core better this year?
I can't tell.
Yes.
I can't tell. Yeah. How many drops have a junior had? He's got to be leading it. He's got to be leading the league in drops.
I'll put it to you like this. Hold on. I'll put it to you like this. Keenan Allen had a hell of a lot of drops last year.
We're not talking. Oh man, Keenan Allen looked like a Pro Bowler.
Hold on. Because right now, I'm just going at you because I'm trying to sit up there and understand your logic, because right now you're making it seem as if this team is worse than what it was. We already know the offensive line is better. We already know the receiving core is better. Whether you like it or not, the receiving core is better. The thing is that they have to have a better way of getting the ball to their guys. Luther Burden, coming out of college. Matter of fact, last year in college, was the #1 wide receiver in the NCAA yards.
Don't tell me about college. Don't tell me about college. Don't tell me about college.
Tell you about college. Guess what?
Tell me about what he's doing on the field for the Bears.
Guess what?
This year.
Guess what?
What's that?
He's drafted off of what he did in college.
Oh, now, but what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing?
When they get 3 or 4 years in the league, yes, we can sit up there and not even bring it.
That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. Of course, he drafted off of what he did in college. That's why Caleb was number one overall pick. Of course he is. So what is he doing today?
My brother, you going nuclear. You talking about you having some
I'm not going nuclear. I'm the same fan that I've always been. I call it like I see it. It.
You know what? You're right.
You don't have to agree.
You're right. You're right. You know what? You know what you are? You are a fanatic.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. You're exactly right.
You are a fanatic. Are you a fan?
I am, but I'm not a fanatic.
No.
I'm not a fanatic.
Fan is short.
I can sit up there and abbreviation.
Fan is abbreviation for fanatic. So what are you talking about?
One thing that I can do, put my biases to the side, whether I like the GM, whether I don't, whether I like the coach, if I don't, whether I like the quarterback, whether I don't.
It's my team. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I can't criticize the team?
I'm not saying that, bro. I'm not saying that you can't criticize the team. What I'm saying is that you're going nuclear, Amp. You won't even let me answer. I'm asking you questions, my brother. I'm asking you questions if they are. So your biases are so in. I like, is the offensive line better? Oh, they decent. I'm saying, are they better? Yes or no? Is the receiving core better? Oh, Roma dudes, they got these drops. I'm asking you, are these guys better? Yes or no? That's all, bro.
No.
So you think the receiving core is worse than what it was last year?
I can't tell. It looks the same to me. And that fanatic thing, bro. That fanatic thing. Come on, man. Miss me with that, pal. Because I've heard you on Tuesdays get lit. Get straight lit about this team. Get lit about the team. And nobody says that you're a fanatic. Why?
Do you want
Because
to know
that's
why?
your opinion. Because
You
that's
want to
your
know
opinion.
why?
That's
You want to know
why.
why?
That's because
Because
that's your opinion.
I don't allow my biases to sit up
Oh
there to
man, come
say
on,
some
man. Miss me with
wild
that.
things.
Man, go back. I just
Hey
watched your
guys,
show, man.
I don't allow
What are you
because I
talking
don't allow
about?
my biases. You can watch the
What bias?
show.
What bias? What bias are you talking
First
about?
of
For
all,
me.
you don't.
For me. For me. What bias are you talking about for me? I'm
Go
watching
ahead,
the
Chef.
same team as you are. Go ahead,
Go
man.
ahead, Chef.
Go ahead with that. I just watched you Tuesday.
hey
Get
guys, we
lit.
gotta move the show on. We gotta move the show on. So to
Go
answer your
ahead,
question
man.
about it's a weird person to pick on right now. Luther Burden is 7th on the team in total targets. He has 15 targets. I'm not talking about any advanced, just based out of the 15 targets, he's caught 13 of them. He leads the team with his percentage of catches per target at 86%. He leads this team in yards per target at 11.4, and he leads with yards per catch. So we need to get him more touches, but we need to get a lot of our playmakers in touch. Now we can argue about the drops thing. So by per NFL stat, Roma Dunze does not lead the league in stats because they do not count contested catches that are dropped as pure drops. They don't count that. Has he had an issue with catching contested balls? Any balls that his hands get on that a defender puts his hand on him? Yes. He's had at least, I want to say he's had a one, if not every game, one every other game. Although he still leads the team in receiving yards, catches, yards per catch because he's got 15-3. He leads the team still in first downs, touchdowns. His success rating is per yard. I mean, based on targets and reception, it is 51.8. So my issue with him is finishing those contested plays. You drafted a guy like that. What his main reason was for his contested catch ability. That's where he seems to be struggling this season. Lucian Burton's out this year, so now you have to rely on more on Olamide Zaccheaus, who's actually second on the team, tied with DJ with targets, and more on your tight ends. We don't have DJ Moore. We need to talk more about these injuries because now we have to rely more on the rookie Kalmanung guy. We don't have Rashawn Johnson. I wanted to talk about the fact that for these signings that these guys for the Bears did, we got a DN we signed to the practice squad. We got obviously Gardner Johnson, who we signed to play from nickel. The young guy Jonathan Garvin. We signed another offensive lineman, Royce Newman, but both of those guys are in the practice squad. We did elevate Austin Booker. We've got some guys who are now playing. So we got to get back to what do the Bears need to do to beat this Bengals team. It's all hands on deck, although technically every game is all hands on deck. You do need a better performance from your quarterback. You need a better performance from your offense as a whole because you're lacking so much on defense, which is funny because we didn't even talk about the fact that last week versus the Ravens, we held the second leading rusher from a season ago and a guy who's put up 2,000 yards. We led him to 71 yards on 21 carries. Like, you held him down, but when we got in the red zone, we couldn't stop those plays. We couldn't get off the field on third down. We had 0 turnovers last week versus the Ravens. What was the key to the wins the past 4 weeks? Turnovers. We led the league in that 4-week period with turnovers.
Why couldn't we get off the field?
In turnovers the entire season as a total defense. We didn't get any last week. And this team right now has to be opportunistic, meaning that we have to get turnovers and turnover on downs and interceptions and fumbles and those things of nature to put us ahead of the game because we're not a team right now who can take big leads. Even in our 4 wins, all of them were 1-score games minus the Ravens. No, the Ravens game was. Every game has been a 1-score game, even the 4 wins when we were feeling good. So defense has to play a lot better. Caleb has to play a lot better. Manunga is I don't even know the depth chart because I didn't see them sign another running back. Did they move a guy up? Travis Homer. I don't think they activated him. Travis Homer. Did they activated him from the?
Yeah, they did. They did.
But they hadn't placed him on the active roster.
No, he's playing today. He's playing today.
No, I know that. I mean, he doesn't have a choice. We have one running back who's got any carries this year who's starting is Kalmanung. So we got him, Travis Homer, and I don't think they brought anybody up. That's only 3 running backs plus DJ. So you got Travis Homer. Like if you were to talk about we need to run the ball, so we got a guy who's a one-cut guy, bringing back something a little older. Sorry, I'm jumping around. The red zone issues. The red zone issues aren't just Caleb. They're the offensive linemen. We've run the ball in the red zone and not gotten in. We run it with Cal Manut guys, so we've not getting in. So it's a full thing of execution. I think the biggest problem with the red zone offense, which is the biggest problem for me, because it's not just last game. It seems we leave points on the field every game this season because we should be scoring more. So we were 5th in the league 2 weeks ago, 25 points a game, and we still weren't scoring more touchdowns getting in the red zone. So that offensive line has to be more key. We have to have more urgency. The thing about being in the red zone is your clock has to speed up. Your urgency has to speed up. You can't take as long on passing plays. You have to be more, I hate to say tough, but you have to be stronger and tougher in our run game. Ben he identified it. He has to call better scheme plays on in our red zone. I would like to see, somebody mentioned it early in the chat about 5 to 10 minutes ago. I want to see a few more jump balls. When we've got Loveland 6'4", we've got Komet.
Hey, Chef, that was me. That was me. I was saying that they need to go in the red zone. The thing is this: when you got size, you utilize it. When you're in the red zone, you put in your big package. You got 2 tight ends that's 6'5", 6'6", or 6'6", 6'6". You got a 6'3", 6'4" wide receiver. You put in the big boy package and you let them work.
Check this out. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was saying that I agree with the big boy package. I agree with that. But if he hasn't, first of all, you draft Colston Loveland with the 10th pick. What was it? Was the 10th pick?
You gotta use
it. Either he's hurt or he's inactive. What?
No.
Cole Connect.
He's never been inactive. He's just been hurt.
That's my point. That's my point with drafting. That's my point. So how you gonna put a big boy package in there if you're not using the tight end? And then when you do have a tight end there, you're using him to chip to help the left tackle. So, and that's why you put that's why you got DJ Moore back there.
But that's exactly why Chef sits up there and says that you have to sit up there and you gotta call those type of plays. I want to get to Crooked Commish with the super chat. My thoughts on CJ. I'm not expecting anything great. I'm expecting him to come in and be a veteran presence and be a veteran guy who knows how to play the game. Right now, Amp, I understand you, my brother, but you do have to realize this team is injured. Your top four cornerbacks are out. The guys that you had last game were like 3rd to 4th stringers. Sean Wright wasn't. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I'm saying one Tyreek is playing today, so you have you still have the consistency of your number one corner being Tyreek Stevenson. The 3rd running back on the roster who's been activated is the Britton Brown, the young man who played in the preseason. Britton Brown was the reason why we didn't keep the other running back. Britton Brown is going to be one of the top 3 backs. So
I'm talking about like Wheeler.
Wheeler got cut essentially for Britton Brown because he stayed on the practice squad. So I expect the depth chart for running back to be Manungai, Britton Brown, and Travis Homer. Travis is not going to run the ball. If he's probably in there, it'll either be 3rd down or it'll be for pass protection or something of that nature. But you continue about Gardner Johnson.
Yeah. So with Gardner Johnson, I expect him to come in. Hopefully he irritates the mess out of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to get guys off their game. Because right now the secondary is hurting. When I say it's bad, it is bad. That's what scares me. It's a bad time to go against probably the best wide receiver duo in the NFL.
Right now.
With the CJ Johnson, I'm expecting him to come in. You had McLeod or McCord or whatever his name is. You had Nashawn Wright. You had Josh Blackwell, and you had the other, I think his name, Jalen Jones. You had those guys. McCord, Blackwell, Jalen Jones, those guys are like 4th stringers, bro.
Yeah. Who stringers.
And you can go in and complete passes against those guys that are 4th stringers, my brother.
Yeah.
That's why it's bad. That's why it's bad.
It's a little worse than bad. A little worse than bad because
the secondary coming into this season was our strength.
Yeah.
That was our strength.
On paper.
Man, what you talking about on paper?
No,
you had an all-pro. You got an all-pro at
corner, and we had Tyreek coming back.
You got one of the best slot corners in the NFL. You got 2 damn good safeties. What are you talking about on paper? This right here, bro, is when I say when your biases and you become a full-fledged fanatic. Talking about on paper. It was. So tell me why. Ding, ding. What other position group was better on this team?
Whatever. You can go to wide receiver. You said it on
wide
paper.
Wide receiver
on
was
paper.
not.
Wide receiver and tight end.
Better than our secondary.
And tight end.
Tight end was not better than our secondary. Our secondary was our bread and butter. That's what it was. It was the best position group that we had.
On paper.
Now it's hurt.
And this year, and what happened? What game did it happen? We're week what? 9? We're week 9?
Our safety, if I'm not mistaken, our safety leads the NFL in interceptions. Does he not?
Yeah, you talking about Wright? You giving
I'm not talking about Wright. I'm talking about Kevin Byard. But continue on.
Played amazing this year.
Who will probably have, if he didn't run into Wright, who will probably have probably 6 interceptions on this year.
We'll see today. We'll see today. Chase is averaging 88 yards a game.
What you gonna say?
Higgins,
what you gonna say?
I said we'll see today.
They win today.
I just said I'm saying it now. We'll see today because Jamar Chase is
come on, man.
And T. Higgins is averaging a season low 45. If T. Higgins gets off today, it's over. He's averaging 25 yards a game.
What do you mean if he gets off today?
Joe Flacco has taken over their numbers going up. Higgins and Chase. Yeah. Chase had 18 targets last week. 18 targets last week. Higgins numbers.
The man had the last 3 games. The man has over 50 targets.
Yo,
I said his yards per game. I said he's averaging. I said they're average. What? Look it up. I said Jamar Chase is averaging. Average. I said averaging. I didn't say what he had last week. I said their wide receivers on a whole. Chase is averaging 88 yards per game, and Higgins is averaging 45. Averaging.
Okay.
I didn't say what they did last week.
So what are you getting at?
My point is if T. Higgins gets off, it's gonna be a long day for the beloved. That's my point. What?
You're right. You're not disagreeing with me. It's going to be a long day.
Nobody's disagreeing with you on that.
The only statement I made was...
What you asking me what my point is then? Why you asking me what my point is?
My point was saying that T. Higgins' numbers, him averaging 45, it's because of the earlier part of the season when he wasn't getting targets after Joe Burrow got hurt. Both of their numbers as targets and yards have gone up since Joe Flacco was traded for 3 weeks ago. So that 45 number is more like 70 yards. That's a ballpark. I don't have the exact average.
It's not.
Their numbers.
It's not. It's not.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? The 44 yards per game is because you're taking the entire season of 8-9 games averaging the 44 yards.
That's what average means.
So Flacco was traded for. His average is actually higher in those 3 games than it is compared to his season average. Their numbers as a package, as a duo, have gone up substantially the past 3 weeks. That's when Joe Flacco, Joe Flacco is a 40-year-old man. Chris's age.
You're making it seem.
He's gonna bring it, bro.
Amp, you're making it seem as if T. Higgins is trash.
What? I said he's only averaging. I said no such thing.
Hold on. This is the reason why
don't put words in my mouth, man. I didn't say that.
I said you're making it seem. I didn't say you said that.
No, I'm not making it
seem as if T. Higgins is trash. And the reason why I said that was because you said if T. Higgins goes over 45 yards, then something's wrong. And I sit up there and say, there's nothing wrong with T. Higgins going over 45 yards because he's going to.
That's not what I said. You misunderstood what I said, pal. I said, first of all, they have one of the best duos in the league. First of all, and I said, let me finish. I said, if he gets up on the Bears because he's only averaging 45, I know what he can do. What are you talking about? I never said T. Higgins was a bum. It was Chase and Higgins together. Come on, man. Come on, you know the game. You know that they're the best, probably the best duo, top 10 in the league, man. What are you talking about? I said that T. Higgins was. I said if he gets off on the Bears today, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over. I know that 45 yards. That's my point. Only averaging 45 yards combined is just well underachieving for T Higgins.
Okay, thank you for saying it. Thank you. Now
I said it when I said it.
That, but when
Okay,
you come
that's
and
what
say,
I
"Oh
was
man,
saying."
he gets over 45," he's going more than likely. If I'm a bet man, I'm going to bet, especially against the way our secondary.
You bet the over on that. You bet the over on that
over
for
45
sure.
damn yards.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the quickest question. What do we need to see from our Bears in order for them to win this game? In order for us to win this game, one, they're gonna have to put pressure on Joe Flacco. He's already got a sprained AC joint, so I will continue. Me personally, I will sit up there and blitz him, because one, he can't
they've been
move.
blitzing higher percentage because of the lack of pressure from the four. Got to see what Booker has in store. So yes, we've got to put pressure on him. For those who don't know, the AC joint, it has to do with your shoulder, not your ACL that's in your knee.
And it is his throwing shoulder.
It's his throwing shoulder.
Yeah. So I have to sit up there and put pressure on him, make him probably throw angles that's going to sit up there and hurt that shoulder. Put some hits on him, not just the QB pressures. I need to put some hits on him. Get him, make him sit up there, make him have to throw long passes. That's going to put a lot of stress on that AC joint.
But any type of zip that he puts on the ball, being the fact that Joe Flacco has always been known for that. Not right now, but no cookies right now. Okay, always been known for that. So Joe Flacco in his 3 games has 784 yards. He has no turnovers. We got to put pressure on him. The angles are correct. We got to get turnovers once again. We had a game versus Joe Flacco when he was with the Browns where we had 3 picks and we still lost the game. He's not a guy of the quarterbacks we played this year. He's not a guy who's going to get nervous if he throws a pick. Joe Flacco today could throw 3 picks in the first half, and in the fourth quarter, he's still going to throw the ball like he did in the first. You've got to deter that man by hitting him, causing turnovers, and not applying pressure to him, because the target share, like we just talked about, everyone's numbers have gone up since he's been on the team for the 3 games. Prior to Joe Burrow's injury, Chase Brown, their running back, was averaging about 70 yards a game. When Jay Browning took over, he was averaging less than 40. I should know because he's on my fantasy team. So everyone's numbers in the offense have gotten exponentially better. The offenses look like a quote unquote a better half of the league offense. Before we answer the expectations, so what do the Bears have to do? Obviously, they've got to hit Joe Flacco. You got to get that guy to move. You got to get him to run.
Yeah,
pressure.
You got to hit Joe Flacco. Also on the offensive side, I need to see touchdowns. Let's not get it misconstrued. The Chicago Bears on offense are moving the ball. The problem that the Chicago Bears offense is having is sitting up there scoring field goals instead of touchdowns. They're one of the worst teams right now in the NFL when it comes down to the red zone, as far as when it comes down to scoring on touchdowns. Now they're scoring in the red zone. They're just not scoring touchdowns. I need to see touchdowns. Last week, we playing Baltimore. We're in the red zone twice. We go 14-0. That ball game is totally different now. Now you got a Tyler Huntley who's going to be more than likely forced to sit up there to pass to keep his team in the game. That's not his forte. Okay, so we need to score more touchdowns. Caleb needs to have a very good game. I'm hoping that he does. Hit your open targets. Get your tight ends involved. Get DJ Moore the ball. Quit staring down Roma Doomsday. I know that every quarterback in the league has their number 1 target, but the thing is, you can't constantly keep staring down a particular player. That's different. Everybody got a number 1 wide receiver. Most teams do, but they don't just stare him down all the time. He needs to get somebody else involved and stop the run game. That's it, and run the ball.
Here's my take on it. First of all, we don't have a number 1 receiver. We have some good players on that team, and I think that number 18 should throw it around.
We do have a number 1, but go ahead.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't have a number 1. We don't have a number 1 wide receiver.
We had a number 1 receiver with Justin Fields that had 1,300 yards. But go ahead.
No, we don't. We have good players on that team. Let me finish.
Continue.
Let me finish. I'll let you.
I said continue.
I'll let you. I said we have good receivers. And I think that number 18 should share that ball, throw that ball around. In order to win this game this week, we need to run the ball. In order for 18 to have a good game, in order for Caleb Williams to have a good game, we need to run this ball against one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL. And so if they run the ball against Cincinnati, we should come out with a victory because it's one of the worst D lines in the leagues. And so in order for number 18 to get off, you can't throw if you can't run. You know what I'm saying? If you can't run the ball successfully, passing is almost impossible. So the Bears should definitely be able to run. And if 18 takes his eyes off, well, Rome is not playing, right?
No, all the receivers are playing. All the receivers are playing except for Burton. Burton's out.
Burton, okay. So spread it around. Stop targeting Rome, just Rome. So take that check down. Take that check down when it's there. Because we've seen, it's not just, or is it just me that sees that he's missing open players, open shots while looking for Rome. So just spread it around. You say they have a number one receiver. It's not a number one receiver on that team, man. It's some good players and tight ends. So spread it around. You're gonna force Rome to be a number one receiver. You're gonna force Rome to be the number one receiver. I don't think so. If that's the case, go to Loveland. He's the number one pick also. Go to Loveland. Why is he out there?
The target shares are deemed by play calls. If you pay attention, I've been doing a better job because I'm trying to do better with the content on TikTok and here. If you listen to the during the week interviews with the OC, the DC coordinator, because those questions were asked by reporters this week. The plays are set up. Not every play is designed. Every play scheme has a number one receiver. So if you throw the ball 30 times, maybe there's 10 plays that are targeted specifically where Rome is the first target based on coverage. Then there's another 5 to 8 to 9 that DJ's the first target based on coverage. Then Colston Loveland is so every play is not designed specifically for Rome. Now, Rome being highly targeted is based on the fact that they're calling more plays to target Rome. Now, him not coming off of Rome when the coverage dictates that is a Caleb thing, because if Rome on a particular play is the runoff guy or is the third target, he's not going to speak the progression just to get to Rome. That's not typically how you're coached. I'm not saying that Caleb hasn't done that. What I'm saying is,
I gotta go.
Oh, no problem. Hey, Ed, or Val, as I know you, we didn't get to chop it up when I was home in August, but Chris, man, it's good to see you, brother.
Hey, good to see you too, brother. Always. Amp, good to see you.
All right, pal. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, pal. Be safe.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Anytime, brother.
All right.
Later.
So let's talk about guaranteed guys that are out right now for this game. So we mentioned it in just shots based on. Hold on 1 second.
So, what are your expectations? What are your expectations, real quick, on Kyle Monangai for his first rookie start here? Swift out. What are you expecting or hoping to see?
I'm excited.
Out of him today?
I'm excited, man. I really am. I'm really excited about this, especially against this defensive line that he's going against. I love them in Rutgers. You know what I'm saying? I think he was a steal in the draft at the seventh round. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about this game for him, man. I am.
Do you think? Go
ahead.
Mm-hmm. Just wondering do you think our offensive line will be able to open up enough holes for him so he can be effective and kind of hopefully take some pressure off of Caleb?
I think that they will open the holes. It's just a matter of him finding them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and being aware of which gap to go to. You know what I mean? And he's a rookie. So yeah, I'm excited about it though, man. I'm excited to see him as a featured back. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited. I've always liked him. Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously Burton is out this game. Roshan Johnson's out again. None of these guys participated in the week of practices. D-Rob is out. D-Rob actually I thought has been really productive as far as them versus the run. They've actually played the run pretty well the past several games when at the beginning of the season, obviously they were like 30th, 31st in the league and first to run. Swift is out, so you missed that dual threat from your running back position. He's definitely played good the last 5, 4-3. So the better half of this season so far. And then obviously the linebacker, Amen Agbagbagamiga. I was so close. He's out. So we've got Colston Loveland is back because he's been full participation. So we've got obviously something I wanted to note about the big package. So last week I put this on my TikTok about the big package that I saw. So there was a play, even though Cole Kmet was out, where we had 6 linemen on the field. And Ozzie Trapillo was our 6th lineman. He went into motion. He started in the backfield as like an H-back. He went into motion. It was actually a play action where Rome caught like a deep comeback or deep corner for about 17, 18, 19 yards. I would like to see more of that when you get into the red zone. Yes, the defense is probably going to think that you're going run heavy. Who cares? We need all the beef we can get. You know, I want to see 6 linemen and 2 tight ends. I want to see Ozzie Trapillo as a tight end extended. I want to see Colston Loveland, and I want to see Smythe. I don't care if you go goddamn 11 personnel. Well, actually, it wouldn't be 2. It'd be 13 personnel. 13 personnel would be 1 back, 3 tight ends. I want to see all the beef up there. When we show yards, I want to see no more goal and 1 yard when we got receivers on the field. You put your 6 linemen out there. You put your 2, 3 tight ends out there, and let's go downhill. No more quarterback sneak. I know we're trying to establish this, but we've got to establish that we don't have the offensive line that can just push people around. That's why we're better in the outside zone. But we've got to be able to get a yard when we need a yard. That's what I need to see. I need when it's 3rd and 1, when it's 2nd and 1. I don't want to see play action. I want to see us get 1 damn yard. So I hope that Ben has saw the ability to use Ozzie Trapillo as an extra lineman or an H-back. Dylan Smythe, not Dylan, I think his name is Dylan, but Smythe being the 3rd tight end. Last week, Stephen Carlston was activated, but that's because Cole Kmet didn't play. But with Cole Kmet, Loveland, and Smythe on the field, I expect them to use those bigger packages when we need that 1 yard. No more 1 yard. Yeah. Let's see if we can get these yards with our running back.
You put that jumbo package in there, man. Stay out. Don't put anybody in motion, man. That's the problem. That's the problem. Those pre-snap penalties.
That's true. We can't blame. I'm not blaming coaches when you got a big package in. I'm not blaming no more coaches for false starts. I'm not blaming coaches for not getting 1 yard. That is a player thing. You got to be efficient. You got to buckle down. I'm not gonna say no. Pull yourself by your bootstraps. You got to grab your cojones, pull them up, tight them, get them tight, and push forward. You got to get these yards. We can't not get 1 yard on run plays when we've got big guys in the game. We got to protect Caleb. Obviously, Caleb has done a great job getting the ball out. For the most part, I think he's gotten better. Someone put in the comments that they think he's developing too slow. I mean, to each his own. I mean, it's an opinion.
It took golf 2 years to get this offense to figure this offense out. And he was a vet. It took him half a season. So golf is already ahead of Caleb because by the time golf got to my point.
Got to the Lions, he was already a veteran already. He had already been in the league.
That's my point. I said and he was a veteran. That's my point. Yeah. So it's gonna take 18 some time to get this, and I think that I like what Johnson is doing. He's shrinking what his offense originally is, and he's giving what Caleb does best. He's putting it in packages, man, and take that. It's time for 18 to
be on the move a little more
to show out. Yep.
Better use his feet. I wouldn't mind seeing some RPO, a little bit more RPO to let Caleb get on the move to attack the line of scrimmage. He is athletic quarterback. We don't want to get in the habit of making a guy who has athleticism sit in the pocket. I'm not saying he doesn't have to. I'm saying that getting that guy on the move, especially
it's almost. That's my point. It's almost like he doesn't want to run. Like even when he leaves the pocket, we know that he can run. You know what I'm saying? So if you see 15 yards ahead of you, you know what I'm saying, and you think that all your reads are covered, take the 15 yards, man. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't just hold the ball. Don't just hold it.
Having athletic quarterback if you're not going to use not going to use him.
Exactly. I agree.
I would definitely say that I would want to see him a little bit more on the move. I think we've got to use where we are on the field. Ben is a very smart guy. He hasn't shown the ability this season to quote unquote outthink himself, but you still got, as the players have to execute. Like, the players have to be executed. If there's a check to be made because there's a different offensive alignment, what I would ask you guys for our next show is we've got to, because we're having some discourse on some things that are being said in those interviews. If you go to the Bears media page and listen to some of those interviews, some of them are a little more enlightening. I've done a better job this year myself, just so I can give more insight and more, and like still give my opinion, but still being able to say, hey, this is what the coaching staff is saying. I mean, I don't get to listen to all the Chicago radio because I'm not at home. I do listen to a little ESPN here or there, but I try to listen to those interviews. I don't have a problem, obviously, with the coaching staff. My issue, to me, is not been saying it's up to the leadership, but it has to. These are still grown men. At some point, these guys have to make self decisions. Hey, we're not going to allow these things. These veterans or whoever these leaders are. We've got to self-police ourselves. Better teams in the league, the winning teams in the league, are not policed by the coaching staff. They're policed by the players. So we're not there, but putting more onus on the players and not treating them like children. Like, it's different when you're coaching high school kids, 14, 15, 16. You got to kind of be on them like this unless you got a bunch of seniors. These are still grown men who are getting paid to do a job. It's a game. This is a very violent game. We got to put more onus on them to execute.
So who's the leader? Who's leaders on these teams? Call out the leaders. Or should we just go by the captains? Or should we just go by the captains?
You can go by the captains. I don't know who the leaders are because I'm not in the locker room. I would expect a guy like the guys who are veterans, a Grady Jarrett, because
DJ Moore. DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. I expect.
That's all I come up with.
I would expect a Beard to be a leader because he's a veteran. Now, I'm not going to name anybody who's injured because, not that you can't lead by being injured, but it's kind of hard. And most players who are injured try not to interject their own opinions because it's hard for, even though you've done it, for you to be injured and then 10 players what they need to do better because your ass ain't even out there. So you expect the guys who are the veterans. Now, the question is, do we have more vocal leaders or more visually, the guys who lead by example? You need a bit of both on the team.
Yeah.
So it's up to those guys, a Tooney, a Kevin Byard, a DJ. DJ doesn't even strike me as to be one of those vocal type of leaders. He seems to be very.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't seem.
Montez Sweat, though, someone like that should be vocal.
He does.
You know.
He seems to be vocal. I know Grady Jarrett talked about it when he signed as a free agent about giving, teaching guys the little nuances of being a professional, being a defensive lineman. So, but Grady Jarrett's been out. I mean, he played last week, but he was out for a couple of weeks. We just lost a young guy. So, I think it's going to be another close game, man. Me and Commish did say we thought the win would be a bigger jump. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It turned into a game that was close, and then the Ravens kind of walked away with it. But it's going to be. I think there's going to be another 3-point, 4-point game. Field goal or a late touchdown or a last-minute stop is going to win this game today.
Well, let's get into the score predictions here. Anybody in the chat watching with us, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. As the banner's saying below, we're trying to get to 1,400 subscribers by the end of the year. But, of course, we can't do that without you guys helping us out, doing your part, liking, sharing with other friends and family that happen to be fellow Bears fans, and how even maybe fans of just the NFC North and stuff. We don't mind teams of fans of other teams within the division coming in, kind of spying, within the enemy, seeing what we're talking about here in the clubhouse and stuff. So we may be talking about those teams. So you never know. But like I said, help us subscribe or get our subscriptions there by the end of the year. So real quick, what do you guys think the score of this game will be by the end?
I got the Bears, got them 24-21. The Bears.
Close game. Yeah. Close game, 3-point game. I'm hoping the Bears can do a bit more scoring. Apparently this is the Bengals have been one of those teams that have given up one of the most yards so far in the NFL season, and hopefully the Bears can continue to do that. I'm hoping to see a kind of a similar game that Caleb Williams had against the Cowboys. Hoping to kind of see a repeat of that against this defense. Doesn't necessarily have to throw 4 touchdowns or whatever, but just be efficient with the ball as he was in that game. Kind of being comfortable with that offense, seeing it clicking, and playing with some sort of rhythm. So I'm hoping the Bears can win, let's say, what am I thinking here? 34 to 23 game. So Bears win.
You said 34-23?
Yes, sir.
It's the second straight game we've got the Bears scoring 30 points in the game, man.
I mean, if they can't score points against this particular team and this defense, like I said, everyone else doesn't seem to have an issue with it. And if the Bears are, we good? And the Bears offense or whatever is going to take any kind of leap. This is the team to take that leap against. This is the team to take that offensive step against there.
Agreed.
To show that Caleb Williams developing. Because, like I said, if you look at the schedule here on out, we got the Giants, I believe, up next after that. And then after that, our opponents look pretty tough. You know what I mean? And I know it's any given Sunday. You can beat any team at any time. But like I was saying to Coach Chef, there's some matchups, there's some teams where you kind of go into this matchup and you're like, look at it and you're like, we should oppose our will upon this team because judging what they've done against every other team, they've gotten their heads kicked in. And if we're supposed to be that team that we think we are, we should be also to kick their heads in as well. So, Coach Chef?
Want to apologize. I didn't do my due diligence. Also apologize for my light going on. So looking at ESPN's projections through their betting app, and because everyone's got a betting app, Bears are minus 2.5, so they are
2.5.
2.5 points.
Money line minus 150.
Thank you very much. I knew you. If I didn't know, I knew you would know. We were wrong, completely wrong last week. Me and Crooked were completely wrong. I think I had it 34-20. He had it 31-17. In fact, I lost a parlay because I had a parlay and I got every part of the parlay except for I didn't get my Swift 60 yards because he only had like 40 something. They were down, so they stopped running the ball. Yeah. And then I missed my parlay by the running yards and then by the point spread and by the money line. I missed my parlay. Otherwise, I hit everything else. I hit Swift. Oh no, shoot! I hit both receivers on yards. I hit DJ on yards. I think I had him plus 40 yards receiving. I think I had Rome like 60. I had Rome on targets. Oh no, receptions at like 4 or 5. So it was like an 8-leg parlay, and I missed 3 of the 5. So 3 of the 8. So obviously that kills that.
Over and under on this one is 51.5.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely take the over on the 51.5 because that would just mean both teams are scoring 25 plus points. I think this is going to be a game where both teams are going to score. I'm going to keep it closer than I did last week. So I'm going to take, I want them to win, but I just don't think this week that we're going to have enough to come out with a win. So I'm going to take the Bengals. 31.
31 what, Chef?
31-28. 31-28 Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals. That our deficit in the secondary is going to hurt us. I think that Joe is. I hope none of this is true. I hope it doesn't happen.
Right.
But Joe is on fire right now. Joe Flacco has 700 yards in 3 games with the Bengals alone. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. my computer. I really got to get this computer together because all the numbers I want to give have not been good right now. But Joe is on a tear, and the only way that the Bears are going to win this game is if you can keep Joe.
It's pressure. It's pressure.
You got, yeah. He's got 4 touchdowns in 3 games. They've won 2 of the 3 games he started. Hold up, give me 1 second. I will give you just my last little tidbit on Joe. 3 games, Joe Flacco is 64% completion percentage, 784 yards, averaging 6.2 yards per completion. He's averaging 261 yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, only sacked 4 times, with a passer rating of 100.1 the last 3 games just with the Bengals. So my pick is construed on the fact that I think that we're going to struggle versus the Bengals. I hope to be different. I had a different number. I had the Bears winning, but I think we're going to end this game at 4-4. I hope not, but my gut is telling me that it's going to be a tight game. We're either going to have a last-minute drive that fails, or they're going to get a late touchdown or a late field goal with Joe with the ball, which means it'll be the second time that a quarterback who is not a starter has beaten us in a 3-year span. He beat us as a Brown 3 years ago the same way. He threw 3 picks that game. We got stuck with a lineman in coverage and beat coverage because the Eberflus dropped the lineman versus a tight end. And
it was Jones.
David Njoku called a pass, and then a deep ball to another guy. We had a drop by we had a drop that not Caleb, that excuse me, I'm stuttering, that Justin Fields threw that was dropped early in the game versus the Browns. I'm not saying it's a repeat of that game. I'm just saying that we just had Tyler Huntley beat us, and he beat us 3 years ago. I think we're going to have another quarterback that beat 2 years ago, and I hope it doesn't happen. But I have the Bengals 31-28. I think the Bears will look better on offense. I just think that we just haven't been all those games. The 4-game winning streak that we closed out tight with a defensive stop, an offensive field goal, all those things that we got. I just think that we're in a dip these past 2 weeks, and I'll take the Bengals. I got the Bengals 31-28. If I was a betting man, I don't think I'll probably take the -2.5. I'll probably take that, even though I have it in 3 games. I'm not going to bet the money line for the Bears or Bengals today. No. I'm going to bet that. I might delay. I will take 2.5, even though I have it at 3. But I probably, because that means they would have to. It can be a field goal, because a field goal, losing by field goal, actually loses you to 2.5. So I don't think I would take that, honestly.
And that's why I took the beloved and 24-21 at 2.5. I'll give it 2.5 up.
If you take Bears 2.5 as the favorite, they can't lose, and they have to win by 3.
And that's why I took it. That's why I took it. Yeah. So I mean, for those who bet, it's very strategic. So I'm staying away from all of that today. If anything, I would take the over. If anything, I'm staying away from the 2.5, -2.5, and I'm staying away from the money line. I take the 2.5, and I would take the parlays on my non-guy. If you can get my non-guy with 60, 70 yards, I would take him that. Hopefully, the game is closer so they can run the ball a little more. I definitely would take the receivers and stats. I don't think Caleb hits 250. I hope, but I probably would take Caleb like 220 on passing, a touchdown or 2. So it depends on what happens. I got to take him the under. You know what I'm saying? I got 35 points been scored. I'll take the under on that.
So,
all right.
That's what I got. Honestly, we all 3 hope they win. We want them to win, but that's
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Gamble responsibly. Unless you're in the NBA.
Guys, your final thoughts. Let's give our final thoughts. Like I said, we've been on here for an hour and a half. Typically, we're only on here for an hour, so half an hour till game time. So last words here, Amp, and then last words.
Man, go out there to the beloved. Go out there and pound that ball, man. Pound that ball. You know what I'm saying? And once we establish the run, we'll win this game. We establish the run, the Bears will come away with a W on this one. Bear down, baby.
I believe you.
Bear down. We'll come away with the W.
No, let's eat that W. Go ahead, Coach Chef. Final thoughts before we sign out.
statistically speaking, teams that win the turnover battle statistically more times than not win. We've got to win the turnover war. We've got to get more turnovers, and we've got to score off of those turnovers, not just field goals. Now, you feel good when you get some points, but we need to score in the red zone. If we're inside the 5, we cannot come away with 3 points. If we get 2 or 3 drives today and we don't come away with touchdowns, we're going to be in trouble. We can't come away with 9 points and we end up inside the 23 times. So score in the red zone and turnovers. That if we score in the red zone and we get turnovers, we can win this game. We will win this game as the Bears.
Well said, and I agree. We definitely need our defense to help out our offense and get some turnovers as well, put us in better field position. Definitely want to see an improvement, hopefully, on less penalties, better special team coverage, hopefully, as well. And then, like I said, this game, if not all the games here, we definitely need, I would like to see Caleb Williams take a good and better step in his development, kind of give us, show us that he's kind of grasping and kind of getting the hang of this offense and what Ben Johnson wants him to do within this offense. So, once again, guys, we thank you for joining us here at the Clubhouse. Please don't be afraid to subscribe, like the show. Check out our other shows that we have here at the Clubhouse. The main show is on Tuesday nights. We'll have T-Nick, Frank the Tank, Foulmouth C, JB and Mr. Chicago talk about this game and give their thoughts on what they saw on Caleb Williams and our beloved Chicago Bears. And then, of course, Wednesday night we have the Fantasy Football Show with yours truly, the Crooked Commish here, with the mouth from the Bay, talking all fantasy sports, early start sits questions we answer there. Thursday nights we have our Bulls Spit show coming on, and our Bulls are spitting out some wins so far. They're looking,
Last night 5-0 now, or just 4-0?
5-0.
5-0.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
so they're looking
I
good.
watch Bulls games. I don't have any of those damn apps, and they're not on cable back at home. So, do you have the Chicago Sports?
I'm using the Fire Stick.
When there's a will, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way. So
I'm using the Fire Stick.
But yes, and then on Saturday, every other Saturday, I believe Easy Does It comes on and talks Bears football as well. So we have a few shows for you to check out throughout the week. So, like I said, hit us with that HBO special. Help some brothers out here. And not me personally, but the other brothers that we see on the screen.
Oh, you're a brother. You're definitely a brother. Yeah, you're a brother. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yes, sir. Yeah.
Tell somebody.
Help us out, man.
Don't forget to follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, that as well. Please, TikTok. Coach Chef is on TikTok. Crooked Commish is on TikTok. We're posting our videos.
Amp's on TikTok. Amp's on TikTok. Anthony Amp. If you look him up, he's on TikTok. The Chicago Clubhouse Network is on TikTok. I'm there, Coach Chef, host Coach Chef. Crooked Commish is on there. Depending on how the game goes and how my boys are acting, I might go live for the second half. So look out for that halftime review, as well as look out for that post game. If the Bears win, you're gonna get that Bears shot or shooter if the Bears win, because I'm sick of the Bears winning.
I'm down for that. I have tomorrow off. So win or lose, I have tomorrow off. So hopefully we're drinking those shooters together. So, so let's go. So with that, let's go ahead and put the cherry on top, guys. Thank you again for joining us.
Bear down.
Please hit the like, please share, and always, of course, don't forget to bear down.
Bear down, baby.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
We're bears. Bear down, baby.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.